What's going on, people? It's Ben Dore back again with another preview podcast. I hope everyone's feeling well. And yes, Forest are back at home, and this time against the Arsenal. Get your thoughts, get your feelings about tomorrow's game. If you want to get involved of who do you think is going to win, get your score predictions in now. I've done a poll as well. If you are watching on laptop or whatever it is, I've done a poll. Who's going to win, Forest, draw, or Arsenal? So if any Forest fans, Arsenal fans, get involved as well. I've got a special guest coming in soon, so please show some love to my guy. I'll show you in a minute now. But like I said, people, get involved. Big game tomorrow. Forest need to win. We need to win. As you know, we lost the other day against Newcastle. Arsenal lost as well at home to West Ham. So both the teams will be up for this one. So people, get involved. But like I said, I've got a special guest. It's my guy Albert, top YouTuber. As you know, it's Kevin Campbell derby. So my guy Albert, he knows loads about Kevin Campbell as well. So we'll get stuck in as well. But people, I like to say, show some love to my guy Albert. Albert, how you doing, my friend?
Mate, I'm good, man. It's a pleasure to come on, man. We met obviously last year in June for the first time. A lovely embrace, man. Coming down to the Midlands, the weather was fantastic. But yeah, a lot to talk about, man. But yeah, absolute pleasure to come on. Thank you for having me, man.
As well, you've got a YouTube channel, Albert. Like I said, people, make sure you subscribe to Albert. Like I said, he loves football. He loves talking about Arsenal, and like I said, it's in the title as well. So Albert, talk about people about YouTube channel, man, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for the plug, man. It's nice to be on someone else's channel rather than on other Arsenal channels. But yeah, Albert JTV. You'll find me on YouTube. Just type in Albert JTV. There's two Albert JTVs, by the way, but I could assure you, I'm definitely not the other person.
No. It's in the link. I found it. It's in the title, people. So all I'm gonna do is click on it and just subscribe. Like, this guy's fantastic. Like I said, we met each other for the first time when he come to Nottingham by the do, and he's, like I said, a top guy. But before we do, as you know, the love of Kevin Campbell it was so loved to us, and Albert knew him as well. It's like a Kevin Campbell derby, isn't it, Albert? But before we do, what's your best moment with because Kevin Campbell was on your podcast as well. What's your best moment with Kev?
Oh God, where do I start? So yeah, you know what? It resonates with me from like growing up when I was younger, because I think we talk about representation a lot, don't we? Being the brothers and of Afro-Caribbean background, and people might not believe me, but I'm a little bit older than 21. So I remember,
you know what? Right, people, I can't believe it. Right, I met him, right, and he says to me, "I said to him, how old are you, Albert?" And he went, "How old are you, Albert?" Tell everyone.
I'm 43.
Yo, listen, I couldn't believe it. He's older than me. All that coconut butter and all that. Look, you're taking a mick. You're not 40.
I listen. I remember football a long time before the Premier League even started. So Kevin, obviously, early 90s, and I was lucky enough to obviously. I'd been on a pod with him once, but actually meet him in the flesh was. I can't remember the season, but Watford was in the Premier League. We played at home at the Emirates. We beat him 1-0, and we met him for the first time at the 12 Pins. It's mad. You meet someone for the first time, and you think to yourself, flip, like this is someone I grew up watching, man. And he embraced me like I've known him for about 15, 20 years. So it's a really, really warm embrace. He smelled amazing. Obviously, Kevin's a sharp dresser as well.
Yeah, always.
Always.
Yeah, listen, we clashed. I think the first, like I said, the first time I met Kev face to face, and is like his dress sense, man. I thought, you know what, you can't outdress me, Kev. You can't outdress me, man.
But no, Ben, I was lucky enough from a personal point of view to be friends with Kevin in the last sort of 4.5, 5 years, and always looked out for me, gave great advice. Whenever I saw him, just very, very infectious guy, man.
100%.
So yeah, 100%. Sadly missed. Yeah.
So like I said, rest in peace, Kevin. Like I said, he always showed love to himself, always showed to Albert, like hybrid squad as well, to Sophie as well. But like I said, Kevin, like I said, people know on my channel, Kevin was always on his channel, and he always will be sadly missed as well. But like I said, it's the Kevin Campbell derby, people. But Albert, there's so much to talk about, because I'm not going to talk about when you absolutely battered us at Emirates 3-0. So I'm not going to talk about that, because you're just all one way. But let's talk about your season, man, because let's talk about Mikel Arteta, because everyone, it's 50-50. And I spoke to my friend Marcus, and he's Arteta out. And he said to me, if he hears you Arteta in, he's going to switch off. What's your thoughts on him?
No, it's a good question. It's been actually no, it's been a polarizing question for quite a few seasons, believe it or not. I think the first thing I must say, he's done an incredible job to get us back to a position where Arsenal were actually competing for titles, because the last sort of few years of Wenger, obviously we know the story what happened with Emery coming there.
Yeah.
They initially wanted to give Mikel the job the first time round before we took Emery on, but I know there was a lot of people against it because there's not many people in football, Ben, where you get your first job as a manager or coach at a big club like Arsenal. So I wasn't for it. There were very few fractions of the fan base that were like, yeah, you know what, give him a chance. But he didn't take over at Arsenal, and Arsenal were not in a very good state. People probably, you'd have to go back to maybe the 08 season that Arsenal were actually seriously, maybe even in a title race. But all the other years after that, it wasn't great. So Mikel done a great job in that sense. But I think what's happened now is, in terms of raising Arsenal standards and the last few years going for a league title, and obviously the culmination of this season, there was almost I can't speak for every Arsenal fan, but an expectation they'd win the league. But I wasn't of that nature, Ben. I think for me, when you miss out so closely in the last couple of seasons, it's hard to go again. It is hard to go again. But having said that, what I've seen this season with Arsenal, they've completely regressed. I'm sick and tired, and sure your friend Marcus has told you, and a lot of Arsenal fans feel this, by the way. We always seem to go into a season at the start of the summer or coming into January, and we're short. There's always an area where Arsenal was short.
Striker as well. And that's the problem. It's been it's so long, isn't it? It's like sorry to disturb you, Albert, but it's like Arteta, he doesn't want a number 9, so you can tell him, because when you're striker, you don't want to get told what to do. Like, you got Haaland, he can score goals. You got Salah, who can score goals. Or you just don't want, like, you've got Saka, but when you got a number 9, it's just like he doesn't want it. You don't want it at all.
Yeah, you know what? This is my take of it. I get the question, man. He did want a striker because they wanted Benjamin Sesko in the summer. With the Sesko link, quickly, I'm not sure. He's got some attributes that he's very good. What I've seen, I kind of said he needs a bit more seasoning personally. But you know what? If Arsenal go there, they go there. But I think what the issue is, Ben, is, and for me, I said this on my channel quite a few times, I think a lot of Arsenal fans got seduced last season by the amount of goals we scored by a committee. The most goals we scored in the Premier League season, if I got that right. But the reality is, whether you're a team going for the Premier League title, whether you're going for top 4, European football, trying to stay with relegation, you need to have a go-to main man who plays up top. But I think what the problem with Arsenal is, we've become so, and I think it's a wider problem in terms of football, this kind of being so possession-based and having 60-70% possession of the ball. But the reality is, what are you doing with it? I said this before. I've never seen an Arsenal side have so much possession of the ball in their own half. We don't transition quick enough. You've seen that this season. That's why I think probably your guys will be licking their lips tomorrow, because you'll be happy to let us have the ball. Arsenal don't move the ball quick enough. You can talk about that being a personnel issue. You can talk about the manager being obsessed with possession and the physical attributes of the team. But there's been so many different things wrong, whether that be the recruitment, Edu leaving in the summer, which I think was a massive knock-on effect.
It's come to a better club.
Well, his paycheck's a lot better.
More zeros.
Yeah. But yeah, that was. I know there were some sections of the fan base that were like, "Oh, they're glad Edu's gone and not getting things done," because he came to Arsenal really with not a lot of experience. But him going when he did was a concern for me. And you saw the knock-on effect probably in January, because we've got an interim sporting director there at the moment, who's been at the club a long time. But Ben, to be honest, mate, just because somebody's been at the club a long time doesn't mean that they should be the person to take over. Because the noises we hear at Arsenal is that Jason Ato is doing a good job. And we're thinking, hold on a minute, hold on. We've just gone through an entire January transfer window. The manager's come out in various press conferences saying that we're short. Declan Rice has come out and said that we're short. Before even the injuries with, to Martinelli and to Jesus and to Havertz, we're short. So if you're interim technical director and the noises you hear from the club and they say he's doing a good job and you fail to bring anybody in January, that's inexcusable for me. And this is not the first time with Arsenal, by the way, because we're going for top four. I think it's 4 seasons ago. We linked with Dusan Vlahovic, and we bought no one. And this is under Arteta's stewardship. So you've done it once. Fast forward a few more years later, going for a league title. You've done it a second time. So it was a massive gamble to take, which was never going to pay off. Because Ben, when you've got a situation when you've bought a midfield player, Mikel Moreno, to the club, who's not a starter in your midfield, and he's having to play up front.
Couldn't believe that. Did he come on against Leicester? He come on against Leicester.
Yeah, he came on against Leicester in that sort of position. Yeah, and then we thought it was a good idea to play him up front from the top. West Ham must have been licking their lips. And
I hope he does that tomorrow, to be fair.
Oh God, I hope he doesn't. But yeah, there's a lot of things, Ben. There's little fractions of things that are just not right, from Edu leaving to the recruitment to Jason Ato not doing any business in January, the stubbornness in the manager not wanting to get away from just possession-based football. There's a lot of things that are just not right. But then you've got sections of our fan base, Ben, and I've seen it within our Arsenal fan base, being on my channel and going on other channels. They're like Arsenal was second. We're in the knockout stage of the Champions League. What are people complaining about? But then you've got other Arsenal fans saying, hold on a minute. Since we won the FA Cup in 2019, our domestic cup record has been dreadful in both cups under Mikel. And, we're out of both cup competitions. We're in February. We're 11 points behind Liverpool in the league. And we've got the Champions League where we've got no European heritage. So just to them Arsenal fans, I'm like, listen, my own set of eyes don't lie to me. We're second, but it's not a season where you're looking at thinking Arsenal have actually exceeded expectation, because we haven't.
It's weird. I said, remember the Wenger days, man. Like I said, you're that fantastic team in the 90s and that. And when I don't know, it's just strange. Like I said, you know what is, Robert? When Wenger left, and you can say with Manu as well, when Fergie left, it's not going to be the same, because things are going to change with that. And with right now, and I got loads of Arsenal mates, and then say about you're not dominant no more, because the last trophy was the FA Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2019.
And since then, like I said, you want to win the league. You don't want to finish second because it's still a failed season for you. And it's just it's not the word I'm gutted, because football it's a funny old game.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I want to ask you about Forest. Like when you got teams like ourselves, Fulham, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Aston Villa, they're chasing you lot now. But like I said, you are second place, and deservedly you are, but you want to be top. And I understand and I get it. When you see like yourself, and you see like other Arsenal content creators talking about how frustrated they are, especially with Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, because Ben, you know what it is? It's that step from progress to success. Yeah. And I think for me, and I speak for me only about this.
That's important just for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak for other Arsenal fans, but I think with Mikel is I'm not sure. I don't think he's the man to take us forward in terms of winning major honours. I think he's done a fantastic job to get us from where he took over to where we are now. But it's like I said, it's going from progress to success, and being able to be a finisher and be a closer. And I don't think the team's ready enough. I don't think the team's good enough to win a league title, personally. I made my mind up when we played Newcastle away. I just looked at this team and I thought to myself, they're not ready. They're not ready. They're just not. When We're very restrictive. I look at the likes of when I watch you guys play football, when I watch Bournemouth, when I watch who's the other side? It's just we're just not like the football's boring, Ben. I'm going to be honest. I've gone to games at the Emirates this season, and notably, there's games we played Ipswich at home. That was a struggle 2 days after Christmas. Tottenham second week of January at home, we beat them, but that was a hard watch. Everton at home 10 days before Christmas, 0-0, dreadful game. And there's been too many games like that for Arsenal this season. We don't move the ball quick enough, and the problem we've got is, I see it with your side with the likes of Elanga and Hudson-Odoi, and Chris Wood's been on fire. And you look at
would you take Chris Wood?
you know what's funny? I always said this and I'm old enough to say this, so I can say it. I've grown up with, and obviously with the introduction of social media, there's quite a snobbery towards players from certain sections of our fan base. When we don't buy players from clubs that are fashionable, why are we buying him?
It's the name, isn't it?
Yeah, value with Ben White. Ben White's a prime example. He bought it from Brighton.
Yeah, but he was a good sign. He was a good sign at that time, though.
Yeah, I was happy with him. Yeah,
he was good because he was very good at Leeds. He was up. Then he went back to Brighton.
Yeah,
and then when he brought him, I thought he was a good player, especially at right back.
Yeah,
well, but that's why. Let me just go fast forward quick. Like, how are you feeling about tomorrow? Are you because the West Ham game? I thought I seen little bits of it. I thought
it's dreadful. Honestly,
and I rate him. Ethan, wasn't it Ethan?
Nwaneri,
yeah. When he played that City, when he come on and he scored the first goal against us, and I thought, I just don't want him. I don't want Arteta to do a Saka on him. Just play every single game in it, because look what's happened to Saka, and now he's injured, playing over again. And if Arteta does it to Ethan, I think you've messed up. I think you have.
Yeah,
how are you feeling about tomorrow, man, as well, man? Because I'm just, as a Forest fan, I'm buzzing. I'm not gonna lie, I am buzzing, waiting for you lot. I can't wait to play you lot. But at the same time, you've got a fantastic defense, and you got okay midfield. You got Rice. You got question Odegaard. Like Odegaard, best game was against us.
Yeah,
unplayable that match. But talk to me a bit, man. How are you feeling about tomorrow?
You know what it is, when I looked at sort of our run of games, like the last 4 or 5 games, including playing you guys tomorrow, I was concerned. I was concerned because even the games you've played this season, Ben, where you might have lost the game, you have bounced back straight away. You've bounced back really, really well. You haven't gone on a run where you've lost 4 or 5 games straight. You've lost the game. You've come back fighting. So this is the one game I wasn't looking forward to be honest with you, because I think the way it's worked out with the result we had against West Ham and the result you had against Newcastle, which was a crazy game, by the way, you'd be looking to bounce back. And like I said, I mentioned before, the way you got, Milenkovic has been brilliant. Murillo at the back's been brilliant.
Who's better? Who's better? Our centre back, so your centre back.
I was still taking my centre backs. I'm gonna be honest. Even though they've annoyed me this season, and I think we've got 2 clean sheets in 8 games actually. But it's mad because I saw a stat. I thought someone was joking when they told me. They said Arsenal got the best defensive record in the Premier League. I said, what?
Yes.
It's mad how stats can kind of almost. You're like, that doesn't. What I see with Arsenal, that doesn't make sense to me, because defensively I think we've been poorer this season. But yeah, Ben, in regards to the game, I wasn't looking forward to it because I've seen the way you like to Callum Hudson-Odoi and Anthony Langer and Morgan Gibbs-White's been brilliant, and Chris Wood's been in the form of his life. And I think this is a really bad matchup for Arsenal tomorrow. Yes, we've got some players back. Obviously, Miles Lewis-Skelly's missing tomorrow. So
yes, I'm happy. I'm happy he's because I know another good player.
Yeah,
if I'm honest. Like he's 18 and he feels like he's 27, 28. He just goes on like I don't care. I'm a left back. I'm massive cocker. When he scored against Man City and everyone's going on about the way he celebrated, so what? So what, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. So, but yeah, I'm happy he's not playing. Well,
Yeah,
you know, it annoys me, Albert. Every time I see the lineup, we've got about 4 left backs on the bench.
Oh, don't even get me started. Even you watch the players warm up on a weekend, you're like, why have we got so many left backs? That's what I get off on Arsenal, man. It's crazy. We stockpiled defensively, but offensively, that's not the case. But no, listen, I'm concerned about the game tomorrow, to be honest with you. It would have been a tough game anyway, Ben, but I think the way Arsenal have been playing, not even in recent games, what the way Arsenal have played this season, it's been a hard watch. Now, people might laugh and think, well, you're second. I said, no, don't let the position fool you. You know, big up Doug in the chat, Liverpool fan, love him, man.
Oh yes, I'll go for chat in a minute. Yeah.
But no, the way Arsenal playing at the moment, I think this is a really bad matchup for Arsenal, the game tomorrow, if I'm going to be really, really honest.
Oh, don't say that. You know what? I don't like you know when someone says that, Albert, like then Arsenal just actually hammer us. Because who was it? I think it was. Was it Newcastle? Newcastle fans said, "Oh, we're not up for it," and then just battered us. So no, don't say that.
You know what? I think.
Come on, find something positive to say.
You know what, Ben? I think the only thing that would work. I think the main thing that would work in Arsenal's favour, and I don't say this as a compliment, by the way, is because, and this has been labelled at Arsenal for many seasons, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to sort of talk about it this season. Great teams win big games of football.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is we went and annihilated Manchester City at the Emirates, but then we knew we had a big game of football 3 days later against Newcastle in the second leg of the Carabao, and then players and all those players, and that game really tipped me off, Ben. And I'll tell you why. Because one, it was a big game, and you have to look at this Arsenal side now and say, you know what, this is, with the exception of Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri, this is a very experienced Arsenal side that have played together for 3 straight 4 years now. You should not be freezing in a game like that of such an important magnitude to get to a final at Wembley and win a trophy for the first time in 5 years. That performance, that second leg performance, was unacceptable. And Arsenal, when the pressure's off, they might perform a little bit better. Because when you're 11 points behind, Ben, at this stage of the season, going for a league title, Liverpool could still drop some points and they'll still be comfortably in a good position. Because what Arsenal failed to do this season, they failed to capitalise when Liverpool slightly opened the door. And the reason why they failed to do so is because they're not good enough. And you have to question the Arsenal players' mentality.
Question it a bit, right? Because, and it's annoying me so much, man. And as well, Forest fans, like, you see teams like, I don't know, I'm not going to mention Spurs because they're just not relevant now. Do you think this, someone mentioned it today, do you think this season's been weak because you see teams like ourselves, Fulham, Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Aston Villa, they've been there for the last 2 or 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
Do you think, as an Arsenal fan, because like you're not a second, but you've not pushed Liverpool all the way. Do you think it's weakened or not? Or do you think we deserve to be there?
It's a good question, Ben. It's I've seen the question being thrown around quite a few times by.
It annoys me. It annoys me so much. It does. Right. Because no one is. I'm not going to mention this guy. I think he's a Spurs fan. He said it. Said, "Oh, the season's weak." I think to himself, "What are we on about?" Because Spurs are in the bottom half.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see them talent teams, the top 6 cartel, including Arsenal. Yeah. What's your opinion on it? People in the chat as well. People in the chat, get involved. Boy, and before I've got to say respect to the chat as well. I don't care. I hope you're all right, my friend. Colin, see you tomorrow, my friend. And yes, if you want to be a member to my channel, please be a member. All you do is look for the $sign as well and do any super chat. Helps me a lot. Justin, hope you're all my friend as well. Chelsea's always on my stream as well, so hope you're all. Dougie, yes, top guy, friend, yes. Always. Dougie, just so you know, we're the only team to beat you this season. I'll rub it in.
We might mention that, yeah.
I'm going to mention that as well, man. As well, Charles, respect you. It's so interesting to see Albert's perspective of tomorrow and the man himself. Control us, God is the key. That's again, before we get into Carl, to that question, what's your thoughts on it? And people in the chat, get involved. Is the season been weakened on what's been happening? So, what are your thoughts on that, Albert?
If they're talking specifically, for example, about the title race, and obviously Man City have fallen off. I think the points total probably won't be as big as it would be to win a league title. Possibly that's maybe what they're talking about. But let's be honest, in the title race, it's very rare you get more than a 2-horse race. It'd be very rare to see that in a season. So if you're talking about that, that's the best way I can answer it that way. But I think you need to give, and I agree with you, I think you need to give more credit to the likes of Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. Bournemouth were excellent last season.
Exactly,
I think there was a stat fly around Bournemouth last season that I think it was from January, if I got that right. They were the 4th best team in the Premier League. That's amazing for a club that when he took over at Iriola, I don't think they won the game for about 3 months. So now you guys deserve credit, because I don't know how you got your fan base felt in terms of coming into this season and having Nuno as a manager.
Everyone was bottom half, Albert. And I'll keep it 100 with you. Everyone was bottom half. We didn't expect to be where we was right now. And if anyone's out there said we'll be 3rd, you're absolutely liars. A bunch of liars, man, because we didn't expect it. And this is my point of it, because so when you hear a fan, and I know disrespect to Arsenal fans or Man U fans, and it's so good. And I'm so happy, like ourselves, Bournemouth, and I'm happy that Aston Villa and Newcastle derail their Cartrell top 6 teams. This is what makes me so excited about it. And you hear the Spurs fans getting upset about, it's been a week. I just don't think it's been weak, because everyone's taught to play good football. If you don't like teams like us being in the top 6, then you want to be boring. The same old top 6 Ben,
you know what? No, Ben, I'm with you. I think that's I wouldn't pay too much attention to what Spurs say anyway, to be honest with you, because it's the trophy dodgers, as we call them. Because the thing is, it's not like I look at the likes of yourself, Bournemouth, and Villa. We're not talking about teams this season, for example, where. And I think the best example I can use, if people, depending on how old people are in the chat and when they watch it back, you can have players in a team or a squad where they're not the most talented, but you find a way to get the best out of them. The best example I can think of is when Greece won Euro 2004. They were a very, very functional side. They were not great to watch, by the way, but they end up winning the tournament. But when you look at the likes of yourselves, Ben, Villa and Bournemouth, you play some bloody good football. And that should not, and that you watch your side week in, week out. I've watched some of the games, your games this season, and they've been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Bournemouth, the way Bournemouth tore Newcastle to shreds at St. James's Park was unbelievable. And by the way, they had a lot of injuries as well.
Yeah.
So I think there needs to be a way more credit given to the likes of Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth, considering where you guys were in the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Exactly.
The jump has been unbelievable.
Way too much, boy.
I mean, what's the table? Let me look at the table now.
So we're through. I think we're 6 points behind. We're 6 points behind you.
Yes, unbelievable.
And it's just mad. And as you know, Albert, there are always going to be twists and turns from now to the end of the season. And I'm excited for tomorrow's game. I am going to get Albert's score pictures in a minute, but I was going through the chat as well, and Dougie as well. This means this is to me very competitive season for me. To create season for teams like Bournemouth and Forest, or setting in the Abercart top 4 race. It's going to be very interesting. It is, and I just hope as a Forest fan, and I stick into my word. I think we'll stay 3rd in the Premier League. I don't care what anyone says. And we've got a Liverpool fan in here. Shout out to Andrew. Hope you are my friend. Big up, Mr. Dore. As a Liverpool fan, I'm very impressed with Forest this season. Also, the game when we played you at ground, that second half was greatest ever seen. Andrew, I like you. I hate. As everyone knows,
you know what? Ben, you know what? I must have messaged. I messaged Dave actually, because I actually watched that game. I watched the second half. I've caught the second half. Forest were absolutely brilliant in that second half. for the game, but the second half especially, I thought you was excellent. You deserved the win. Brilliant.
All it is, I was like a school kid skipping out the outside outfield. I didn't care. My friend, even Dave was Ben, shut up. Like, no, I don't like Liverpool. I'm going to jump around like a headless chicken. And yes, Andrew, best second half I've ever played. And I can rest. God bless myself if I pass away. I've witnessed Forest beat Liverpool. That's all it matters, man. All it matters. Dougie, after Anfield tomorrow, please beat. Okay. Listen, mate. We need Liverpool to beat Newcastle. We need them to, because if we beat Arsenal and then Liverpool beat Newcastle, then it's back to square one. And I think Man City got Spurs as well. So listen, good luck to Liverpool. I'm a Liverpool fan for 90 minutes, and that's it. Never again. But that's it. Chelsea, we have to got where we are because we're hard work, not look we're weak in Premier League. It's just an excuse for other team. 100%, Chelsea, 100%. I'm sick and tired. Like I watch lots of YouTube, like Albert does. We both watch loads of YouTube. We hear people's opinions. It's all about opinions, and that's how people feels. And that, but with weaken, I don't like that.
Ben, just to ask you quickly, sorry, Ben, I'd be interested to know what you guys think, because obviously, when you first got Nuno, what was the sort of feeling around the Forest fans? And obviously, fast forward to what he's done this season. What's he done so different from the season before?
No, it is right, and I'll keep it real, right. When we had Steve Cooper, everyone loves Steve Cooper.
Yeah.
But the next man, I always said it, he had to outdo Steve Cooper. Had to get that love and respect for him. He wasn't great. I'll keep it real. He wasn't great. Yeah, we beat Man U, Newcastle when the first, I think it was the first, second or third game, and I just don't think he had the. We can't use the excuse whether we had injuries, because we didn't. We didn't have injuries, and you know what it is. I think everyone wanted Forest relegated and wanted Luton up. Step and look at Luton now. They're rock bottom of the Championship.
Yeah.
And now look at us. We're third place. What do you question? He's sorted out the defence, and as you know, a little joke about who's got the best centre back, Milekovic and Murillo.
Been brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And when I mentioned Chris Wood, I didn't want Chris Wood at Forest at all. I didn't want him at all. And I look at him, 18 goals this season.
Yeah, madness, crazy.
Absolutely amazing. Now, this is why the question with Arsenal, like I said, with Arsenal, like tomorrow, you don't even know who's going to be your front three. I think it's going to be Sterling, Trossard, and Ethan. I think that's going to be your front three, if I'm honest. And if let's say, if everyone says we're favourites, we can't be favourites because you're brothers. So
yeah. I
think if it's going to be tough, because you've got a great defence. You can say you got a weak forward. You got a fantastic midfield in Rice, Partey, and Østegård, but it's not going to be easy at all. And I think I'm going to enjoy it. I hope you lose and all that. So
yeah, it's going to be hard for Arsenal, because the thing is, we're not, and it's not just going into tomorrow's game. Arsenal find it very, very difficult. I think the issue we've got with Arsenal at the moment is when or if they go 1-0 down. I'm sitting there as an Arsenal fan thinking we're in a bit of trouble here, because we're not opening teams up. We find it very difficult to break down low blocks. We don't create many chances, and we could have played against West Ham for another 2 days. We wouldn't have scored. So you're looking at it thinking, where are the goals coming from? And that's an issue, because even if you look at our midfield with Martin Ødegaard, who's been getting a bit of stick. He obviously had a bit of time out when he was injured, but since he's come back, I think his first game he came back against Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. He was actually better that game than he's been probably any most of the games he's been this season. He's been very, very poor. I don't know what's happened to him. I really don't know what's happened to him. He's last couple of seasons he's been one of the best, for me, one of the best midfield players, definitely in the Premier League. You could even argue in Europe, but this season, his decision making. My issue with him, and I've said this before, by the way, is he takes too many touches. He comes far too deep for a player of his quality to receive the ball. The likes of Partey or Rice or the centre back should be telling him, get out of our space, get out of our area, get further up the pitch, stay on the park, go past the halfway line. He takes too many touches and you make it easy to get pressed. I mean, Bowen and Kudos and Ward-Prowse were brilliant on Saturday.
Ward-Prowse, I wish it was at Forest, man. It's a bad decision. So it was a bad decision. We should have kept him, but
that was an odd. Yeah, I did think that was an odd decision. Yeah.
All right, but people, get your score predictions now. I'm going to get Albert's score prediction right now. So if you can, people, as well, hit the like button if you can. Subscribe if you're new, and as well, subscribe to Albert's channel. It's in the title. Talk about Arsenal. We'll see him depressed after the game with his reaction. So people, like I said, show some love to Albert's channel. Click it, subscribe, and watch Albert. Like I said, he's a great lad, great dude. First time on his channel. So people, get your score predictions in now. Albert, what's your score prediction for tomorrow?
Oh dear. My head's telling me we'll get a draw 1-1, but my heart's telling me I think we might lose 2-1.
I'll take that. You wouldn't. I'll take that. I've got to be balanced on this because, like I said, you've got a great defense, and I saw it was in the comments from Control as God is key. He's the one we've got to watch because he absolutely battered us at Emirates. Absolutely battered us. No one can touch him.
Yeah, you won't give your midfield. You've got midfield. Is it Elliot Anderson?
Elliot Anderson. We don't know because we had Dominguez and Anderson against Newcastle. Yeah. So personally, and this is my point of view, people don't say that Ryan Yates love up, but I don't care what people say. I love Ryan Yates. I love Ryan Yates because if he plays tomorrow, I think the first 30 seconds he'll just kick him.
You won't give us any time on the ball, and Arsenal know this, and it's just how they cope with it.
I'll go for.
Don't be pulling out on my behalf.
I'll say 2-1. I'll say 3-1 Forest. 2-1. I'll say 2-1 Forest. I'm just,
yeah. Like Ben, the thing is, as an Arsenal fan, I can't come here on your channel or someone else's channel and the way Arsenal were playing, where you can talk about injuries or the players that are available or the system. We're not playing well. We're not playing good enough to win big games of football. Like I said, the only thing that might help is maybe the pressure's off. I don't know. But when you're 11 points behind, you ain't got nothing to lose. So something could happen.
Well, let me put Charles. Do you remember what Charles said 2-1 to Arsenal yesterday?
Did she?
Charles, I've got to throw her in the bus. She said 2-1 to Chelsea, to Arsenal. So Charles, I've got your score. I've got yours over there. So sorry, Charles, I've got to say it. I'm saying 2-1 for us. 2-1 for us. People, if you are rewatching this, put your score prediction in the chat. Albert, it's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure.
Thank you,
coming on the channel as well. Hopefully, you won't be upset. You will be upset after tomorrow's game.
Oh God!
But last but not least, as I said, as you know, people. What do you think Kev would be thinking right now with Forest being Forest are? I think he'd be loving it, wouldn't it? What do you think about Forest and Arsenal? What do you think about Arsenal and Forest? Like he'd be happy with Forest, but depressed with Arsenal.
Yeah, it'd be interesting how Kevin would be, because you know what, when he used to do obviously you did the Irish squad with Sophie. It's the players. A lot of the time it is the players this season, but it'd be interesting to know what Kevin would think. Actually, I think he would probably take a 0-0. I think he was happy when we drew 0-0 with Everton back in December. I think he's looking down, thinking, you know what, the Kevin Campbell derby, I'll take a 0-0.
Oh no, I think he'd be excited for us. He'll be absolutely buzzing for Forest. But like I said, God bless Kevin Campbell, man. Absolutely legend. Missed the guy very much, man. But
100%.
But it's what it is, people. Like I said, it's like I said, Albert, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for taking your time from me. People, I'll be there tomorrow as usual, do my usual content. If you want any score predictions on the channel, please do. I will be doing a vlog, the after reaction, review show. That will be Thursday. We'll talk about the game. And like I said, there's more content that will come in as well. Like I said, if you do want to support my channel. Please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And like I said, people, show some love to Albert. His channel is in the title, so show some love to Albert. I'll be there tomorrow, people. Hopefully, we can get a win. Hopefully, we'll be 3 points behind Arsenal. And there's a few games on tonight. Fulham are winning 1-0 against Wolves. But people, it's been a pleasure. Nottingham Forest get back to winning ways against Arsenal. Peace, love, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.